How are you all doing? Ralphy, Ralfy Customs. Now then, we're back on the Triumph. It's all over the fucking place. Let's get doing the sparkies, eh? Right, we need to fit the ignition switch, and we need to find a spot on the box. You see I've marked it here, look, there's the spoiler alert. There's a few reasons. One, you need to be able to reach it, so it's no good putting it where the frame is. And two, these are flat. They want to mount on a flat surface. Now none of this is particularly flat, it's a big curve, look, it's Iron Man, coal scuttle. But the flattest parts are on the side. And I've gone for the left hand side as it sits on the bike, so I can reach round, no pun intended, and turn it on if I need to, leaving my right hand free to hit the starter button and work the throttle and stuff. It just makes sense to me to have it under my arse on my right hand side. So we're going to use a step drill. Now these have a flat. There, look, I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but there's a flat on that, and that stops it turning. If the nuts come loose, which you can do. So we're not going to drill an hole and work a flat. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a step drill to drill it out to just over 18mm, I think these are. We'll try it 18, and then I'm going to TIG weld across the hole. Basically, I'm going to put a couple of tacks of TIG just to interfere with that flat surface, and that'll do the job nicely. So we'll just confirm that we want it to end up, like I say, I'm looking for the flattest part, and that's kind of here, somewhere there. So we'll call that the centre, this way. Probably go back a bit, but I want to leave room inside for getting contacts and shit on. And this way, we've got at that point 2.5 inches, so 1.25 inches. So there, X marks the spot. Now, being curved and stainless, it can be tricky, so wish me luck. I've just sharpened this step drill for the very job of doing this. There we go, drift off. Drift off, I'll give it one more drift off and then we'll centre punch it, which we should have done in the first place. And because we don't want to be fucking whacking it and trying to hold a dolly inside while we use a third hand somehow to centre punch it, we're going to use auto centre punch. So I'll give this a few to really establish that dot. And if this don't catch this time, I'll switch out to a pilot hole. No, come on, let's go. There we go, got it. So, away we go. Fuck, that's not happening, is it? Let me switch out to a pilot drill, and we'll take it from there. It was always quite a big ask of a sharpened step drill to make a start. So we'll go in with a nice 4mm. Yeah, even that's drifting. Nice 4mm carbide. And then switch out to the step drill. We should now, hopefully it will piss it now. I don't think piss it is quite the fucking way it's doing it, but we're in. It's working. I'll work my way through off camera. Probably use a bit of cutting oil until we get it outside. Right, now, if we got that out to 18, it's not quite big enough. And what a fucking battle. I'm just going to dress it up with my Dremel. Really not with that band on it. I'm just going to change that band and then dress it up with the Dremel. Right, here we go. So, nice and gentle. Try and get a burr off the inside too, because it's hard work getting in. So, just gradually, turn that up a little bit, gradually work our way around until the ignition is a nice enough fit. Right, so take it through and wobble it around to get the burr off the back of the hole. While we're there, and so on and so forth. Right, here I'm fucking out just enjoying. Oh, look, I'm praying, and I am. I'm praying this goes well. So we've got our hole, and it's all out to size. Now I can see when the key's in, and straight up and down, if you like. Not, it don't fucking matter, but you know, the devil's in the detail. That this is like across from 1 to 3 o'clock, the flat. So I'm going to attempt to put a tack in place. It's not got to be pretty. It's all going to get fucking ground off. I just want a little blob to stop the fucking thing from turning, basically. So I'm going to do my best to flash a tack in there quick, and we'll go from there. Right, flashed the tack in. Let's see how it interferes. Not enough. Not enough yet. We'll keep going. Build that up a little bit. See how that goes. There you go. You've got it. That no longer rotates freely. It's a bit there, actually. I'm going to be greedy and give it another little spot. Just to be sure. If I can get contact, there we go. Right, so I'll clean that off. Inside and out, and that's the ignition switch mounted in the electrics box. Cheers then, thanks for coming. And here we go, look. Try and show you. There, look. There. The little flat bit. So, put this together quick. Quick and rough. That only goes through in one spot. It doesn't rotate. And then the locking ring goes on. Fuck knows if I've got the smallest C-spanner in all the world to tighten that up with. You don't get one. Sorry. There you go. That's going to get tightened up there. And now it won't turn when you turn the key. So a key can go in, do its thing, and you can fucking, if you do it too much, you're not going to spin it and fuck it up and all the rest of it. Sorted. Right, so we've drilled the hole for the ignition switch. The next thing we need to do is mount everything else. Now, I've done a lot of fucking digging and researching, and I'm going to bring my genius friend Dave Lester later to pick his brains a bit, but it's looking like I can use stick coils, which are like modern cars use, modern petrol cars use a coil pack, they call it, don't they? It's a spark plug cap and ignition coil in one. Happy days. So that just leaves those three components and a fuse and a relay, but they're the mountables. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to arrange them in here like that. So we've got the igniter, we've got the lithium battery, and we've got a starter relay. And they kind of sit happily like that, yeah? What I'll do, I'm going to make a mark on this, and I'm going to lift that out. I'm going to make a little subframe, yeah? So I'm going to make a subframe that mounts that catches those rubbers, look, because this has got rubbers. So yeah, so that's going to sit like that on a bit of metal. And then finally, it's going to come underneath this probably, and we'll either fix that in the box or we won't, and they'll just sit there, put a bit of rubber next to it, a bit of double-sided Velcro even. I mean, there's fucking nothing, there's no weight in that. So that'd lift, that'd fucking definitely fucking, I might put that way actually, that would definitely Velcro down and stay where it was fucking put. And that'll fit on there. And that'll fit in there. Yeah. And then we'll have our ignition switch here. We'll have a relay that'll go double-sided Velcro for the ignition coils that I just talked about. Front and rear lights are LED, so there's no fucking drain there. Starters there, that's a relay anyway. Oh, solenoid, maybe run a relay. Not sure, need to look at that. But a couple of relays and a fuse with the very, very most, which is no big deal. Righto, so off camera, I've cut myself a 25mm strip of this 3mm eighth sheet, but plate, eighth plate is when plate turns into, sorry, when sheet metal turns into plate, is at an eighth. Anything smaller than an eighth is sheet, anything bigger than an eighth or bigger is plate. In my book, that's how I was taught. So we've used this eighth plate, and we've made some 25mm strip, and out of that we've constructed a little holder for these rubber mounts for the ECU, and we've gone and found the original bracket for the starter solenoid, and we've cleaned the spot welds through, look, and we've welded that fucker on. So we've got, I can't do it one-handed properly, but we've got an ECU mount and a starter solenoid mount, and they're going to sit in there next to the fucking battery. My next question to myself, there you go, better shot, sorry, is how are you going to fix them? How are you going to fix it all in? Are you going to rely on double-sided Velcro on the battery? You know, stick the battery down and then stick this frame to the battery. That works for me. I think that that'll be alright. A more permanent way, I guess, would be to move this out a little bit, use another bracket, make a drop down or goes across or something, to have a bolt that bolts this framework down. But you're going to struggle to fucking get in and tighten it and do shit unless you have a hole through the bottom with a nut, which is a possibility. But as it stands, double-sided fucking Velcro's winning, and that shit is fucking good. Let's not, you know, we're in the 21st century, and every one of these components is lightweight. The heaviest thing there is the starter solenoid, and that don't weigh fuck all. So we'll see. We'll see. Now, it won't mean anything to you because it'll all just happen on camera, but I'm going to break away from this and get on with something else for a little while. Right, a quick update. It's the same day, it's not the next day. I wanted to include, these are the standard coils, look, and they're going. We're using stick coils, which are basically that part with a connector on top. It's the same as a coil pack in a modern car. I touched on it before in this thing. What I'd done is spoke to my man Dave Lester at Moto Electrics, and I have known him for getting on 4 decades. And for the very, very first time I can remember, he's come back with, I can't give you a definitive answer as to whether the ones I want to use will work, whether it's going to be good. Now, that's fucking rare for Dave. He did explain what the problem can be, the polarity of the coil sticks, stick coils, coil pack, whatever the fuck you call it. Stick coil, we'll call them. See, some fire off, some coils fire off. Basically, this gets charged up, and then it gets a signal. It's either interrupted the live feed or interrupts the earth, and it will fire off from that. The same as points opening on an old school system like I've got my shovel head. Yeah. Now, some of these coil sticks run on a positive trip. They're tripped by a positive, some are tripped by a negative. Triumph, I happen to know, this ECU that fires it off. It sends the coils receive an ignition fed live, yeah, and then the ECU breaks the earth, breaks the negative side, and I'm not even sure that, oh, they are polarity conscious, so there you go, they're polarity conscious for that very reason, I guess. So the ones I'm using are Suzuki or Kawasaki, I forget now, the Kawasaki equivalents, because the only ones that they did for Triumphs were either fucking expensive for the 1700 big monster things, or they're for the old Daytona 600s and that, and they're getting old now, you know. I don't want to put 25-year-old coils on if I'm buying some, although I would, you know, if that's what we're at here. So there you go, so we're not using those, we've saved all of that. All of that, look, does not have to be fitted to the bike, and all that we need is what I thought: the battery, starter relay, igniter box, ignition switch is in there somewhere rattling around. I think it's going to be bolted up. You saw me do the old, maybe a relay or two and a fuse. Fucking happy days. Okay, so you've seen me start to mount the electrics, and I don't know if I mentioned it, but I've realised I've not got a fucking regulator edge file. I guess that's been thrown away with the remnants of the frame somehow. I don't know what happened. It's nowhere. I've looked everywhere. I do not own one, so I'm waiting for it to finish it off. I'm thinking I'm going to drop a leg down here with the bolt hole, or that way, with the bolt hole, so it bolts through there, and I can use one of that. I can use that for one of the regulator edge file bolts, but I want to be double sure before I start drilling holes in my electrics box, so I'm waiting for that to come. In the meantime, I think we're going to address the handlebar master cylinders. Now, this one needs a rebuild. I'm waiting for a rebuild kit, but I've got new levers, which are in my box of goodies. Look, I've got new levers for both sides and new screws and all sorts of prettiness. Like, what I need to do is I need to machine them out to fit on the 1-inch handlebars, which can be a bit touch and go. So let's give it a touch and see how it goes. So what I've done, I've got a plug that fits in 7/8, like the old handlebar size, the original handlebar size. I put out a collet and I've got it clamped in to the resin, and then I've lined everything up and clamped everything up. I've used the other one on the opposing side so that the vice don't cock over and fuck it up, like, and got that as true as I can get it. Now what I'm going to do now is change this for a tool, obviously, but I'm also going to undo the pinch bolts, and I'm going to put some spacers in, which are going to be those blades, I think, or maybe that. A bit of shim stock to give us a gap, like, because we don't want it, if it closes right up, it'll turn on the bars once it's fitted, so we need a gap there, don't we? Either way, I'm going to drop this down, change it out for probably this fucking magnificent. These are fucking great. Probably that. I'm only cutting alley. What I found is it just when it breaks through, it kisses the sides of the pinch screws. Just gets it. That's what it's done on the ones I've done previously anyway. So fingers crossed that we don't fuck this up. Otherwise, that'll be another cross and not a tick, won't it? Right, very sketchy. I've ended up doing away with this because the clamp, the surface I'm clamped onto got a slight taper. So I put a toe clamp on this end and we're very sketchy. I'm just touched off. I'm going to run an exploratory. Here we go, look. Nice and really steady. So it's going to take a little while. But that's the method. We're running a 1-inch cutter down the inside of the clamping surface. So it clamps on 1-inch bars. I've done it in the past with a fucking hole saw. Before we had this sort of kit, you know, and it's been successful. Not ideal. Did a change in tone then. I think we might be touching a clamping bolt, which is fine. We just keep going steadily through until we break out, which you can't fucking see, so bear with. Fortunately, here we go, we're through. So this is through. So this should now. Yeah, it's just kissed one of the bolts there. Has it done the other side? No. So what I'll do, when I do the other one, I'll move it that way a little bit. Just a fucking fraction. But I think we'll be weak. Just back this off and just move it a bit of nothing that way, like that. Sorted. So there we go, look. There's no gaps around it. There's like a slight gap in the pinch there and a slightly less gap in the pinch there, but that's shot. So once we've got the ILO switch on, focus. Once we've got the ILO switch on and the grip on, then that side will be pretty full. So it's fucking take 3000. I don't know what fucking day it's on with for you lot, but we've changed things up a little bit. Yeah, we have finally got the right fucking stick coils. Yeah, I just need to work out an O-ring or something to seal them right proper in the heads there, stop any shit getting in. Tank kind of covers it. So we've finally got them so they can go bye-byes. We've double checked, triple checked, fucking everything fucking checked, and the regulator rectifier is built into the alternator, much like it is in a car. So what we've done, we've finished this subframe off with a little tab on the bottom that holds takes a bolt that's welded inside the old battery box, and I just brought it over here to fucking tighten it down. There's a trial run with a 10 mil deep, just finger tight. And what that'll do, if my calculations are correct, is should just, there we go, like that. Should hold everything. If I can get up, out, bear with. Fucking dead out, you fucking bastard. There you go. Holds everything, just peachy. It's not tight, but you get the picture, yeah. So that all sits like that, only tight. And then what that'll do Just give me a little pocket there. Yep. For the battery, which will sit on a bit of double-sided Velcro. Yeah, start solenoid in that one, and there's a hole. See the hole for the wires to run out of. I might do one the other side, although there's not really fucking room. So I think that will suffice for all of the wiring. My plan is to bring it here and up there, maybe some at the top, not really sure, but we've got a cover. I've started fabricating to cover up the filters, yeah, like so, and then the tank comes to about here. So I might run the wires, it's not many, up here, up through the gaps in the coils. Got 6 for the coils, 2 for the fan sensor, 2 for the fan, and then from the handlebars down you've got headlight, high-low starter, and they'll just fucking come in here, won't they, over there or whatever, along the backbone. I did think about drilling the backbone out and running them down and through and into the top of the box here, but I'm not 100% on that at the minute. But there you go. So yeah, that's it. That's the electrics mounted pretty much. There might be a relay or something else. There might be something else and something else, but I'm sure that it all will fit in there without too much drama. There we have it. Seat's not fucking clipped in properly, is it? But you know, let's get this shit out of the way. Obviously it's nice and tidy. I need to make a lid for it at some stage. That's gonna go around these fixings. So that's gonna be on my little list. And that about fucking completes mounting of the electrics. We've got the handlebar switches, which I'll do when I do a wiring for it or something, you know. I don't need to do them right now. I'll call it quits. Thank you for watching. This must be one of the most fragmented fucking videos I've ever made. So if you've stuck with it this far, then fucking thank you very much. Please, please, please give me a thumbs up. It really, really makes it all worthwhile. Lots of love. See you soon.